Another day, another Galaxy. That's how you see Samsung releasing their new Galaxy devices. While the market is already flooded with them, we've got one in our laps that is not as popular as any flagship devices, the Galaxy Grand Quattro.
I'm Warren from KL Gadget Guy. This is the review of the Samsung Galaxy Grand Quattro. The Galaxy Grand Quattro is the second Grand smartphone series released by Samsung after the entry-level 5-inch Galaxy Grand. You might find the Quattro term very familiar from Audi's 4-wheel drivetrain offering. However, Quattro on this phone refers to its quad-core processor under the hood. The design of the Grand Quattro has a very similar design as last year's Galaxy S3, which we aren't surprised with Samsung using its design across all of its devices. The phone feels sturdy on hand, unlike some other Galaxy devices which feels fragile. Under the hood of the Galaxy Grand Quattro, it has a Qualcomm Snapdragon 200 1.2 GHz quad-core processor. The model number is MSM8625Q. 1GB of RAM, 8GB of built-in storage, expandable via micro SD card up to 32GB. 4.7-inch TFT display at WVGA resolution, 5MP rear camera with LED flash, and 0.3MP front-facing camera. It supports HSDPA with download speeds up to 7.2 megabits per second with 900 and 2100 bands for the first SIM slot, and GSM 850, 900, 1800, 1900 bands for both SIM slots, and they both use micro SIM cards. Wi-Fi BGN is also available and Bluetooth 3.0 is on board. Lastly, the Grand Quattro is packed with a powerful 2000 mAh battery and preloaded with Android Jelly Bean 4.1.2 running on TouchWiz UI. The model that we have got here is the GTI 8552. Navigating around the user interface of the Grand Quattro is very smooth, and we seldom experience lags unless we have too many apps open in the background due to the paltry amount of RAM. The display of the Grand Quattro produces good color reproduction despite its low WVGA resolution. We don't really notice pixels unless you look near the screen or view text. Touch responsiveness is fine and there's no haptic feedback. The best part of the screen is that it is scratch resistant and works well under direct sunlight. The dual SIM feature of the Grand Quattro works reliably. You basically find two buttons in the dialer, messaging, and contacts app that lets you choose the SIM card that you want to use. The SIM card manager allows you to configure to have one SIM for data and the other only for receiving calls. The dual SIM always on feature is a very misleading feature. Even though the description says that you can receive calls from both SIM cards even during calls, it doesn't bring that feature to the table. Instead, you are only able to activate call divert and call waiting for both SIM cards to each other. The loudspeaker of the Grand Quattro is neither great nor bad. It is able to output acceptable call volume, and even if we enable the extra volume option, the volume just isn't loud enough to have a comfortable call without taking out the phone to hear better. Fortunately, callers have no problems in hearing our voice, and we don't have any drop calls using the Maxis or Cellcom network. Music playback on the Grand Quattro's loudspeaker isn't enjoyable as well. Sound clarity is there, however it lacks loudness and bass. The 5MP camera of the Grand Quattro takes decent pictures in good lighting, however don't expect too much in low light. Video capture is stuck at a resolution of 480p, a resolution which is so yesterday, and we wonder why Samsung cut at this enable 720p video shooting, as the processor and sensor is more than capable of supporting that recorded resolution. Do check out more sample shots in our post. Performance and benchmarks on the Grand Quattro isn't top-notch, however it is fast enough for daily usage and simple multitasking. The Grand Quattro scored around 4550 points in Quadrant and 10,875 points in Antutu. Gaming on the Grand Quattro is fine but not fantastic. What the Grand Quattro truly shines is its battery life and low SAR value. The 2000 mAh battery is able to last one full day without needing a charge when we are sending lots of IMs using 3G and receiving about 4 to 5 phone calls per day. The SAR value of the phone weighs at 0.51 watts per kg on body and 0.12 watts per kg on head, which is very low for a dual SIM phone, which means the phone is not going to heat up easily when listening to phone calls, which is also good for health if you are really particular about wireless waves. We love the Grand Quattro as a traveling business phone. It has great performance, fantastic battery life, reliable dual SIM feature, and Jelly Bean perfects the whole Android experience, although it's not the latest iteration. The drawbacks that we hate to see is the low amount of available storage for app installation at 1.48GB, and Samsung has disabled the Move apps to SD feature. That really stops us from installing some of our favorite apps. We also wish Samsung can enable 720p video recording in future firmware upgrades, as 480p is seriously out of date. The Grand Quattro is priced at 999 ringgit, neither too affordable nor expensive, but it is certainly worth buying if you are looking for a great dual SIM Android smartphone. We rate the Galaxy Grand Quattro at 3.5 out of 5 stars. That's it for today, and thank you very much for watching this video. If you like what you saw, do give us a thumbs up and leave comments down below the video. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, follow us on Twitter and Facebook at KLGadgetGuide. Remember to visit our website at klgadgetguide.com for more editorials, tips and tricks, and gadget reviews. I'm Warren. I'll see you next time.